Next on Startup, we head to Detroit, Michigan to talk to Sebastian, the owner of Social Club Grooming Company, a barbershop that's keeping Detroit in style. Then we're going to swing by Buffalo, New York to talk to Patrick, the creator of City Dining Cards, a product that puts a new spin on traditional coupons. All of this and more is next on Startup.
There is nothing easy about starting a small business. A Baker's Tale, all natural and gluten-free cookies, tarts, pies, and cakes online. A Baker's Tale is proud to support Startup and all of the entrepreneurs out there trying to sweeten their own story of success.
The American small business was built on one thing: relationships. And every time a customer walks through the door, a new one begins. Pay Anywhere was built to help entrepreneurs do what they do best. So keep loving what you do. Just get paid for it. Pay Anywhere.
The Michigan Economic Development Corporation is proud to support Startup and all the dreamers, thinkers, and doers. Pure Michigan, ready for the next big thing.
You've written your own story of success, and it shows. Chrysler is proud to support Startup and all the people out there who define their own success.
My name is Gary Brado, and I'm a documentary filmmaker and an entrepreneur. The economy is in less than perfect shape, and when the jobs go away, there's nothing left to do but get up and get creative. And there are people all over America doing just that. It's estimated that up to 85% of new businesses fail. So I'm going coast to coast to hear the personal stories of the people who beat the odds and started a successful business from the ground up. This is Startup. I'm on Anthony Wayne Boulevard in Detroit, Michigan, and we're gonna go talk to Sebastian, the owner of Social Club, a barbershop that offers a lot more than just haircuts. Let's go hear his story, and maybe I can get him to touch me up a little bit. The barber trade dates back to at least 1308, starting with the Worshipful Company of Barbers in London, England. In addition to haircutting and shaving, barbers performed surgery, neck manipulation, enemas, and the extraction of teeth. Sebastian has been a barber for years, but when he saw an opportunity to open Social Club and be able to do things on his terms, he did everything in his power to make it happen.
My name is Sebastian Jackson. I'm the founder of the Social Club Grooming Company, and our mission statement is to create a barbershop experience that impacts the community and our natural environment.
Yeah. What kind of guy is he? I mean, like from a barber perspective and just obviously a friend.
Hold on, stop. Get up just a moment. So, you know what? It's funny because he's been coming out here for almost 10 years now. Mm-hmm. So we have a special bond as far as how we talk to each other. It's not like we talk to other clients most of the time. So I mean, we come in, we joke a lot. He make fun of my hair. I make fun of his clothing. The only barber I know that never cuts his own hair. Look at his face. Look at it. So I mean, we might have more so of a friendship than a barber and client relationship. But definitely, he's a visionary, man. He had this whole thing planned out on what he wanted to do. And I'm proud of what he's been able to accomplish thus far. All right, so start by telling us who you are and a little bit about your background, your history, education, where you went to college, as much as you can tell us.
Yeah, so I'm Sebastian, founder of the Social Club. Was a student here at Wayne State, studied public relations. And while I was a student here, I worked at a salon called Salon X. I learned a lot in that salon environment, but I wanted to create a barbershop, right? So the second year working there, I would joke with the owner, like, hey, I want to own this one day, right? And so I'm going to buy this from you. And I was like, I've got like, I don't know, $5,000, would that work, right? And he would laugh, So then it went up to $10,000, and $15,000, $25,000. And I didn't realize what I was asking, but eventually it became like an actual vision, an actual like passion that became determined.
Like a law of attraction thing. You were trying to will it in.
Right.
So public relations, how did that degree play into that? Because isn't being in a barbershop social environment, it's kind of public relations, right? Yeah. So how did you use your degree?
So I felt that, my schooling really didn't helped me while I was there. I was in class like, what am I doing? You know, but in the past, this kind of meeting place has been very segregated, you know, based on, really specifically, you know, your texture of hair, right? I can cut this texture of hair, or I can cut this texture of hair. And if I can't cut your texture of hair, it's almost as if you're not welcome or people aren't comfortable coming into the space. So that was very intentional for us to hire people that could do, you know, all types of haircuts, right? So now we can have this kind of open forum, this conversation, you know, across races, across genders, across sexual orientation, so on and so forth. And it makes for a really interesting, you know, conversation and environment.
When a barber finished an operation, he would wrap the bloody bandages around a pole. And that is the origin of the red swirled barber pole.
So you bugged this guy, you bugged him, you kept dropping the seeds in his ear. When did things actually come to fruition?
Yeah,
how?
That's a good story. So I worked here in the second year. I wrote a business plan. It was called Campus Cuts. And Campus Cuts was an idea that was going to give free haircuts to students in need. And at the time, the previous owner was looking to leave, right? So he kind of skipped on some things with Wayne State, and Wayne State didn't like it too much. So when I presented this idea to Wayne State for this free barbershop, they were like, yeah, no, it's not gonna work out.
So, and just to step back for a second, this is on campus.
Yeah.
So it is property of Wayne State University.
Right. It took 2 years. It took 7 letters of support. And it took $27,000 to finally convince them that I was the right guy for the job. You know,
it takes a lot of tenacity.
Yeah.
I mean, and I want other people to understand this as well. No it never means no to an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
It's not yes yet.
Yeah.
That's what we call it.
So I had to convince them that I was the right guy that could execute this fantastic plan. At a certain point, I told myself enough, I'd written enough business plans, I saved enough money, to the point where I really believed that this was my space, and that was the difference.
It's crazy. I mean, when Sebastian first started, we were really pretty new in our relationship. We had just gotten married, you know, we had just had a baby.
Oh, wow.
So there was a lot going on, and for him to step up and really make, you know, what he said was gonna happen, it's amazing.
All right, so how'd you acquire that $27,000 that we were talking about?
I saved it, you know. People say beg, borrow, and steal. I did everything but steal it, you know. So what ended up happening was Gabby got pregnant. I called my dad. I said, Dad, we're having a baby. And he was excited, but he was like, maybe we should get a real job, you know, like what Dad said, right?
Right.
And I ended up getting a real job, right? So I started to save money for a house, you know, and it got up to about $10,000. And I rolled by here one day, and at that moment I realized, like, this space was still available and it was my space.
Yeah.
And then I said, Gab, we're not gonna buy a house. I have $10,000 now, I'm gonna save another $10,000, and we're gonna get this business going. I'm going back to Wayne State with one last business plan. And the other $7,000 came from me calling clients and saying, you know, you spend about $1,000 a year on haircuts, why not just pay me $700 for the year up front?
Wow.
You know, and about 10 clients did that, and I had my other $7,000, so that's where $27,000 came from.
So you're not you're not borrowing money.
Right.
You're not taking out loans.
Yep.
You're
Yep.
offering services.
Yep.
Another entrepreneur out there that has an idea, dream, vision, hope, something they want to accomplish in life. What is your best piece of advice for them?
Yeah, don't lie to yourself. You know, maybe your parents want you to be a doctor or a dentist or something else, right? And I think following that path is lying to yourself, you know, and I think it's important to tell yourself the truth and really focus on becoming who you're meant to be.
Detroit is built over an enormous salt bed that spreads over 1,400 acres and has more than 50 miles of road. Some estimates suggest that there's enough salt in Metro Detroit's underground to last 70 million years.
So what do you think about doing with your hair?
I think my neck's kind of growing out a little bit, so just kind of tighten up the fade a little bit.
All right,
go from there.
Sounds good.
All right, so this place is definitely a lot more than just a barbershop. What are some of the other things that you guys do in here?
Well, I think the thing that makes it more than the barbershop is kind of the conversations that we have. Shop Talk being one of the things that we do. So Shop Talk is kind of this monthly panel discussion series that we do. We invite out people of interest to tell their stories about, you know, how they went kind of from rags to riches, or just kind of built their brand, or, you know, built a company for themselves. So we said, how can we plan an event around, you know, those kind of really impactful conversations?
So
It's
you
actual
and
conversation.
the subject have a conversation. Is there interaction from the audience?
Yep, that's what it's all about. It's a Q&A between the audience and, you know, that person of interest, and I kind of moderate. That sets the stage for a really open, you know, an honest conversation about what it took to go from point A to point B, you know?
So what do you think that's done for your business?
Yeah, it's been great. You know, it's a great way to build relationships. It's a great way to kind of highlight, you know, what we do. It's a way to highlight our shop and some of the talent that's here. It's also a way to connect with other people doing interesting things, but really it's about inspiring those people that are aspiring to become who they are.
So I want to hear the big picture, man. What's the plan?
We want to open up 100 shops, you know, in the next 5 years, around, you know, in 33 different cities around the country. And I don't think that it's been done. There is no ethnic or multicultural barbershop concept that currently exists that is franchising or scaling how we want to scale. More than the financial side of it, imagine when we have 100 shop talks going on across the country, right?
That's a lot of change.
And imagine when we have, you know, 3,000 haircuts taking place in a week. You know, imagine how much hair that is and how many trees we can plant.
There are a million ways to start a business, but how did Sebastian do it? Let's find out. He started with around $27,000 in the bank and had a credit score of 700. His first year sales were $132,000, with the business operating at a loss. He spent roughly $50,000 to open Social Club, and the one word that he would use to describe what it takes to make it in business is imagination.
Oh man, I've never felt my face this smooth. It's awesome. Thank you so much, man. I wish you the best of luck with this business. I think you're set for global domination.
Thanks, man. We're trying to work on it. All right.
All right, have a good one, man. I'll be back.
Yep. I'll see you next time.
Later.
Thanks, Doc.
Be good.
Yep.
To stay a cut above the rest, you have to really comb through your business plan and shave off any unnecessary expenses. You can't just pompadour open and expect to be busy. Sebastian created his own unique style, and it looks like Social Club is going to become a permanent fixture. For more information, log on to our website and click the link for Social Club. I'm on Main Street in Buffalo, New York, and I'm gonna go talk to Patrick, the creator of City Dining Cards, a company that helps drive traffic to local restaurants. Let's go hear his story.
The founding father of coupons is none other than Coca-Cola inventor John Pemberton. The Atlanta pharmacist offered certificates to try the new soda pop for free in 1887. In recent years, the percent of coupon redemption has declined due to shortened expiration dates and expanded purchase requirements. Patrick has always been an entrepreneur, but when the idea for City Dining Cards came up, he jumped at the opportunity to support local business and make coupons cool.
My name is Patrick Finan, and I'm the co-founder and CEO of City Dining Cards. City Dining Cards, it's our mission to create engaging experiences for people, businesses, and nonprofits in the United States and Canada.
I want to know about you. So tell us about your past, your education, work experience. How did you come up to this point?
Yeah, sure. So I never graduated from college. I got into graphic design and started a magazine called Block Club. And it was at a time in Buffalo's past when things were starting to look up, but the future, might not have been as bright for Buffalo as it is today. So in 2010, we had an idea to create a product, that would connect all these great restaurants that were popping up, and then could ultimately drive people to support local. And so that's when City Dining Cards was born in its first iteration, with this deck of discount cards to locally owned restaurants. So people would buy a deck of cards, you'd get 50 $10 discount cards inside, and each one was good for $10 off a purchase of $30 or more at a local restaurant.
Why do you care?
Why do I care?
Why do you care about local businesses? Why do you care about this scene, and what drives you?
You know, for a long time, I think people abandoned cities like Buffalo, Pittsburgh, Detroit, Cleveland. You know, the Rust Belt cities were left to die. We looked at a city like Buffalo and saw this opportunity. A lot of organizations here, including my companies, tried to think about like, well, how can we make this the city that we want to live in, and how can we make this a viable, like, wonderful place to live? There's little things that you can do. In supporting local business, for example, you know, more money stays in the community than when you support a chain business. And when more money stays in your community, that means there's more local jobs. That means that suppliers that are like local farmers or companies like mine are getting business from other local businesses, and it helps to create a more prosperous society.
The economy.
Exactly. So we always talk about things as this triple bottom line business model. We talk about people. So how do you support the people you work with, the people who work for you, the planet? So how do you not make a negative impact on the planet or your community? And then obviously prosperity and profitability, those are really important. So in 2007 when we started Block Club, and then in 2011 when we started City Dining Cards, I think over that period of 4 years, there was generally more of an acceptance to someone maybe not doing the normal thing of like high school, college, working at a big company, and like moving to the suburbs, right? Sure. So now there's more acceptance of, you know, living in the city, trying something new, being creative, starting something new. And since 2011, when we started City Dining Cards, man, it's just now we're reading about startups all the time.
Well, I want to dive a little bit deeper into the creation of City Dining Cards.
Yeah.
How did you actually create the model, the physical cards, the look, the feel, the design?
Yeah.
And how did you get it to market?
You know, we were all pitching in to call restaurant owners and whatnot to get this to market. We thought we'd do this one time. Thought this was just gonna be like a really fun side project. So the team at Block Club, the branding and strategy agency, did everything. We brought it to market quickly. And so the format took off because it's something fun that you could buy for yourself or buy for somebody else.
All right, so tell us who you are and where we're sitting here today.
My name is Patrick Ryan. I own Fat Bob's Smokehouse. We're located in Allentown, in the heart of Buffalo.
How did you end up becoming part of City Dining Cards, and how did the process work?
We want to get more traffic through the door. It's an opportunity for us to do that, using the dining cards as one vehicle. Also gives our customers an opportunity to get a little bonus advantage.
A little discount.
Yeah, a little discount that we don't
$10
normally
it's
offer.
not going to kill you, right? With food costs and margins.
No, not at all.
It's a new business over a period of time. If they try it out and they like it and they're coming back, you just have increased your base, right?
Absolutely.
According to coupons.com, users of digital coupons have higher household incomes, larger households, are better educated, shop more frequently, and spend more each month on groceries.
So in 2014, we had pitched Blue Cross Blue Shield of Western New York and Health Now, the parent company of them, on this program that would help make their members healthier. Using our merchant relationships and our program and our delivery mechanism, our platform, and it's been a huge success for them. And it showed that our vision for the company was legitimate, and that we could always, there was more to the company than just the deck of cards that we started with.
What is the campaign that Blue Cross Blue Shield has gotten involved in with City?
Healthy changes everything is our stomp. It's the truth. If you don't have health, you have nothing, and we have a big part in making that happen. So if we can push that into somebody's life where they're taking a card out and they're actually going to a place where they can have interaction, whether they're watching a game or they're having a conversation with a friend, isn't that healthy?
I think it's very healthy, and since it's 2 for 1, it's encouraging couples and friends and people to go out in sets of 2.
Yeah.
Make healthy choices.
In Western New York, there are over 55,000 small businesses. Small businesses employ about 50% of the workers in the United States and account for more than half of the new jobs created.
How do you make money?
Yeah, so we make money a couple different ways. So on the consumer side, our app that's coming out, we make money every time someone uses a card at a restaurant. On the enterprise level, typically there's a setup fee. These are long-term contracts, and we make money through the securing the merchant relationships and developing the product.
What advice would you have for someone who is either miserable in their job, just wants to do something else, or has this dream that seems unrealistic or unattainable?
Well, I think there are a lot of bad business ideas. I mean,
more than your mom and brother have to like, right?
Sure. Yeah. There are a lot of bad ideas. I've had so many bad ideas. As much as we talk about fail early, fail often, people you hear that. Nobody likes to fail. It's really tough.
It's awful.
And it's expensive, and it's like then you're even in a worse place.
Destroys your self-esteem.
It's horrible,
you want
right?
to give up. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think it's really smart to vet the idea first, to try it on a grassroots level as long as you can before you take out major loans or make investments or raise money.
Sure.
I think it's really, really important, and so many business owners don't do this, to take some basic accounting courses to understand things like cash flow and profit and loss and pro formas, just a couple basic things that can help you. Because when you have creativity and you also have the ability to make smart business decisions, or at least semi-informed business decisions with some good data, you're in have a much higher chance of success.
What does the future hold?
Yeah.
For City Dining Cards and for you?
Well, when I look into my crystal ball, no, I'm kidding. No, but so for us at City Dining Cards, what we're really looking to do is build out this incredible network of merchants. We want to grow into about 80 to 100 cities in the next few years. And we want to keep driving people into these great pillars of our community, these local businesses. And we're actually taking the company digital. So we're really working to turn City Dining Cards into a tech company. It's this great program where you can download the app for free and you can use it for free. So we've changed our business model a little bit to take down the barriers of entry for consumers, to make it really easy for everyone, no matter where you live, to download the app and use it, discover new restaurants.
Sure.
And make it great for the merchants because they only have to pay now when someone comes in and redeems a card.
So sky's the limit.
Yeah, I think so. We know we have a good thing going on, and we have a great team. We have great partners, and we're big on growing not for growth's sake. And we want to grow profitably. We want to grow and make really smart decisions. And again, we want to look at that triple bottom line I talked about: people, planet, and profitability, of course.
Well, thank you so much for talking with me today. I'm excited not only for City Dining Cards to come to Detroit so I can use it, but just to see what's going to happen over the next few years for you.
Cool.
So thanks for sharing your inspiring story with us.
Well, hey, thanks for coming. Really appreciate it.
There are a million ways to start a business, but how did Patrick do it? Let's find out. He started out with around $25,000 in the bank and spent $50,000 to start the business. The first year revenue was around $100,000, operating at a loss until his fourth year. He was able to fund City Dining Cards from a second small business that he previously owned. The one word that Patrick would use to describe what it takes to make it in business is endurance.
The founders of City Dining Cards are definitely playing with a full deck. And they've created a palatable reason for people to frequent local restaurants. In business, it's smart to have reservations, but sometimes your wild card can end up being your ace in the hole. For more information, log on to our website and click the link for City Dining Cards.
First of all, I understand that no matter what, I'm going to fail often. But failure to me, if we make small failures, they're really just a way to learn the business or what we're doing better. And the way to do that is I take affordable next steps. I do not go and just, boom, build this big old thing or whatever it is, and then the failure is bigger, and sometimes you can't get out of that hole. So I take small affordable steps. It takes longer to scale and or create whatever you're doing, or after this long period of time, you realize that it's not working for various reasons. You don't have the right people around it, you didn't do enough research on it, you really are not passionate about it, you're too busy. So I take a long time, I do as much research as I can, I put the best people I can around it, and I have to be super passionate about it. And even when all that's said and done, I'm gonna fail 75% of the time.
Next time on Startup, we head to Montpelier, Vermont to talk to Dory, the owner of Tonewood, a unique business that collaborates with expert sugar makers to create single-source, unblended maple products. Then we head over to Hamtramck, Michigan to talk to Chris, the owner of Foaling Warehouse, a business centered around his homemade backyard sport that combines football and bowling. Watch how he's creating a movement that's bound to become a new national pastime. Be sure to join us next time on Startup.
And then what is it you do for a living?
I play professional football for the Detroit Lions.
Okay, this is the big question. Super Bowl this year?
Yeah.
Come on, please.
Yeah.
Please, I'm begging. It's been up.
You've written your own story of success, and it shows. Chrysler is proud to support Startup and all the people out there who define their own success.
The Michigan Economic Development Corporation is proud to support Startup and all the dreamers, thinkers, and doers. Pure Michigan, ready for the next big thing.
The American small business was built on one thing: relationships. And every time a customer walks through the door, a new one begins. Pay Anywhere was built to help entrepreneurs do what they do best. So keep loving what you do. Just get paid for it. Pay Anywhere.
There is nothing easy about starting a small business. A Baker's Tale, all natural and gluten-free cookies, tarts, pies, and cakes online. A Baker's Tale is proud to support Startup and all of the entrepreneurs out there trying to sweeten their own story of success.